Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to Coordination, a self-assessment program. Name the two systems which help to coordinate the body's actions. The nervous system and the endocrine system help to coordinate the body's actions. Name the two structures which make up the central nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the sense organs to the central nervous system are called dash fibers. B. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the central nervous system to the glands and muscles are called dash fibers. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the sense organs to the central nervous system are called sensory fibers. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the central nervous system to the glands and muscles are called motor fibers. Complete the passage below, selecting the appropriate words from the list below. A neuron, that is a nerve cell, consists of a dash containing a nucleus surrounded by a dash, branching filaments called the dash extend from the cell surface and make a dash with other neurons. In dash and dash neurons, one of the filament is very long and is called dash. Sensory, nerve fiber, cell body, impulses, dendrons, dendrites, motor, contact, axons, synapses, cytoplasm. A neuron consists of a cell body containing a nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm, branching filaments called dendrites extend from the cell surface and make synapses with other neurons. In sensory and motor neurons, one of the filament is very long and is called a nerve fiber. Which one of the following is the most likely speed of conduction of nerve impulses? 10 meters per second, 50 meters per second, 1,000 meters per second. Of the three speeds suggested, 50 meters per second is the most likely speed of conduction of nerve impulse. Which one of the following best explains how we can tell which part of the body sensory nerve impulse comes from? 1. Impulses from each part of the body are different. B. Each part of the body is connected to its own region of the brain. C. Sensation to touch, heat, light, etc. are carried by nerve fibers to the brain. D. We learn from experience where the impulses come from. B. Each part of the body is connected to its own region of the brain. Is the best explanation of our ability to identify the source of nerve impulse. A transverse section through the spinal cord is examined under a high power of the microscope. Part of it looks like diagram A and part looks like diagram B. Which is gray matter and which is white matter? Give reason for your decision. Diagram A represents the nerve fiber cut in cross-section and therefore comes from white matter. Diagram B shows multipolar neurons which constitute much of the gray matter. Give 3 examples of reflex actions. Examples of reflex actions are change in size of the pupil of the eye in response to light intensity, blinking in response to foreign particles on the cornea, coughing or sneezing in response to irritation of the nasal passage and trachea or bronchi, knee jerk in response to blow on the tendon of the leg extensor muscle, rapid removal of the hand from a hot or sharp object. Complete the passage below, selecting the most appropriate word from the list below. In a spinal reflex, a dash is stimulated to produce a nerve impulse which travels in a dash fiber to the dash. Here, the nerve fiber makes a dash with a relay association, dash which transmits the impulse to a dash fiber. This fiber conducts the impulse to any dash organ such as muscle. Have the effector, tendons, sensory, sense organ, motor, nerve, brain, spinal cord, active, synapse, neuron. In the spinal reflex, a sense organ is stimulated to produce a nerve impulse, which travels in the sensory fiber to the spinal cord. Here, the fiber makes a synapse with a relay neuron, which transmits the impulse to the motor fiber. This fiber conducts the impulse to the effector organ such as a muscle. In a reflex knee jerk, what is the receptor, the effector? In a reflex knee jerk, A receptor is a stretch receptor in the leg extensor muscle. The effector is the leg extensor muscle itself. Match the following structures and functions of the brain: cerebellum, medulla, cerebrohemisphere, midbrain, memory and reasoning, balance and muscular coordination, control of heartbeat and breathing, eye movements. Cerebellum, balance and muscular coordination. Medulla, controls of heartbeat and breathing. Cerebrohemisphere, memory and reasoning. Midbrain, eye movements. In the table below, enter some general points of contrast between the nervous and endocrine system. Nervous system, endocrine system. Speed of conduction, route of conduction, area affected, duration of response. When it comes to speed of conduction, it is faster in the nervous system, it is slower in the endocrine system. Route of conduction, the nerves and the endocrine system, blood system. Area affected, this is very localized in nervous system, endocrine system, it's general. Duration of response, nervous system short-lived, endocrine system longer lasting. Which one of the following statements about adrenaline is correct? It increases the heart rate and increases the release of glucose from the liver. It increases the heart rate and reduces the release of glucose from the liver. It reduces the heart rate and increases the release of glucose from the liver. It reduces the heart rate and reduces the release of glucose from the liver. The correct statement is A. Adrenaline increases the heart rate and the rate at which glucose is released from the liver. Name the two hormones produced by the pancreas and say A. In what circumstances? B. In what way they adjust the glucose concentration in the blood? The pancreas produces hormones glucagon and insulin. Glucagon is produced in response to a fall in the concentration of glucose in the blood. It stimulates the liver to release glucose. Insulin is produced in response to a rise in the concentration of glucose in the blood. It stimulates the liver to convert glucose to glycogen. Name the hormones produced by testes and ovaries. Testes produce testosterone. The Ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. Name the condition and describe the effect of the failure of the pancreas to produce sufficient insulin. How is this condition treated? Diabetes, insulin-dependent diabetes, is the condition which results from the insufficient insulin. A diabetic is unable to control effectively the glucose concentration of the blood. The glucose concentration therefore fluctuates from dangerously high to dangerously low. Insulin-dependent diabetes is treated by regular injection of insulin plus some dietary control. The pituitary gland produces several hormones, including ADH, FSH, LH, and TSH. Give the full name of each of these hormones and say briefly what each one does. ADH, antidiuretic hormone, causes the kidneys to reabsorb more water from the renal tubules, so reducing the production of urine. FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone, acts on the ovaries and promotes the maturation of the follicle. LH, luteinizing hormone, acts on the follicle to cause ovulation. TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone, stimulates the thyroid gland to produce thyroxine. Thank you very much for participating in coordination, a self-assessment program. Please do like, share, and subscribe.